Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content,
Look, the
please
Yankees
hit
are
that
making
subscribe
moves that
button
have
right
everyone scratching their heads right now. And I need to talk about this because what's happening with Jazz Chisholm could completely reshape their entire 2026 season. So apparently the front office is open to trade offers for their all-star second baseman. And honestly, when I first heard this, I thought someone was pulling my leg. But this is real, and we need to break down exactly what this means for the Bronx Bombers. Now, Newsweek's Jackson Roberts just put together this mock trade scenario that has Chisholm heading to San Francisco, and the reasoning behind it is that the Giants would suddenly have one of the most dangerous infields in baseball. I mean, think about that for a second. The Giants get an elite defender with serious pop in his bat, and the Yankees get what? Hopefully some bullpen help, because Lord knows they need it. But here's where this gets complicated, and I want you to really pay attention to this part because it matters. Heavy.com's Matt Cunningham jumped into the conversation and started naming names. He's talking about guys like Randy Rodriguez, Joel Peguero, Erik Miller, all relievers from the Giants organization that could potentially come back to New York in exchange for Chisholm. And on paper, yeah, this sounds interesting. Let me give you the numbers on Rodriguez real quick because they're absolutely insane. This guy finished last season with a 1.78 ERA over 50 appearances. That's not a typo. And get this, in 2024, his first year in the majors, he made the All-Star game after posting a 0.71 ERA. That was the best mark among all major league relievers, 0.71. Are you kidding me? The Yankees' bullpen has been a disaster for years now. We all know it, the players know it, the coaching staff knows it. David Bednar is holding down the closer role, and there are maybe a handful of other arms you can trust in high-leverage situations. But that's not enough to win in October. It's just not. So bringing in someone like Rodriguez would be massive, absolutely massive, for their championship aspirations. But here's the thing that nobody's really talking about enough. You're giving up Jazz Chisholm to get him. Peguero had a 2.42 ERA in 17 games this past season, and Miller put up a 1.50 ERA across 36 appearances. These are legitimate arms we're discussing. The Giants have built up some serious bullpen depth, and if they're willing to part with multiple pieces to get Chisholm, then yeah, maybe the Yankees should be listening. But here's my problem with all of this, and it's a big one. Everyone's so focused on the rotation right now, on starting pitching, that the bullpen needs are almost becoming an afterthought in the media. But talk to anyone in that clubhouse, and they'll tell you the bullpen cost them games last year. Crucial games. Games they should have won. So theoretically, if the Giants really do want to construct one of the best infields in baseball, and they're willing to give up quality bullpen pieces to make it happen, this could work for both sides. It could be one of those rare trades where everybody walks away happy. But that's only true if, and this is crucial, if the Yankees can replace what they're losing in Chisholm, and that's where this whole thing gets murky. Right now, there are two names floating around as potential infield solutions for New York. The first is Cody Bellinger, who's currently a free agent, and the second is Bo Bichette, who's suddenly appearing in all these trade rumors as the hot stove season really starts heating up. If the Yankees can't land either one of these guys, then trading Chisholm makes absolutely zero sense. None whatsoever. Because yes, Bichette's bat would be a nice addition at second base if Chisholm leaves. But let's be real about something. Jazz Chisholm isn't just a good defender at his position. He's elite. He's one of the best defensive second basemen in the entire game, and his bat isn't exactly chopped liver either. So what are we doing here? Are we really going to sacrifice an elite second baseman just to shore up the bullpen, only to create a massive hole in the infield that we may or may not be able to fill? That seems backwards to me. That seems like the kind of move that looks good on paper in January, but comes back to bite you in September when you're fighting for a playoff spot and you're missing that defensive range up the middle and that power in the middle of your lineup. This is the classic Yankees offseason dilemma, right? They've got needs everywhere, and trying to fill one hole sometimes means creating another. The rotation needs help, the bullpen needs help, and now potentially the infield needs help depending on what they decide to do with Chisholm. It's like playing whack-a-mole with a 162-game season on the line. The Bellinger situation is fascinating to watch unfold because he represents exactly the kind of versatility and proven production that could make a Chisholm trade palatable. He can play multiple positions, he's got playoff experience, and when he's right, he's a difference maker on both sides of the ball. But free agency is unpredictable, and if the Yankees are banking on landing Bellinger to justify moving Chisholm, they better have a backup plan, because nothing is guaranteed until there's a signature on a contract. And now, Bo Bichette is entering the conversation, which I find really interesting timing-wise. The Blue Jays might be open to moving him, and suddenly the Yankees are being connected to him in all these reports. Is that because they're genuinely interested, or is that because they're preparing for life without Chisholm? Or maybe it's both. Maybe the front office is working multiple angles simultaneously, seeing what's available, what's realistic, and what makes sense from both a competitive and financial standpoint. Here's what I keep coming back to, though. The Yankees need to be very careful about trading from a position of strength to address a position of weakness, if it means creating a new position of weakness. That's just basic roster construction. Yes, the bullpen was a problem. Yes, guys like Rodriguez, Peguero, and Miller would help significantly. But Chisholm's defensive value alone is worth so much more than people realize, and when you combine that with his offensive production, you're talking about a foundational piece of your everyday lineup. The waiting game continues, and honestly, that's the most frustrating part about all of this. We're in this holding pattern where Bellinger's decision impacts the Bichette possibility, which impacts what the Yankees decide to do with Chisholm, which impacts the entire infield configuration, which impacts their competitive outlook for the entire season. Everything is connected, and until some of these dominoes start falling, we're all just speculating about what might happen. What I do know is this. Jazz Chisholm's future with the Yankees is genuinely uncertain right now, and that's not something anyone expected to be saying a few weeks ago. Whether he ends up in San Francisco or somewhere else or stays in pinstripes, the decision the Yankees make here is going to tell us a lot about their priorities and their plan for contending in 2026. Because make no mistake, this is a crossroads moment for the franchise, and how they navigate it could define their entire season before it even starts.